Hello there and welcome to my monthly videos, and these are for the month of October for the star signs that are in the element of air. So we've got all three of them in this video, but they will be separate readings, and I'm going to read first of all for Aquarius, then for Gemini, and then for the lovely Librans. So I've just brought these videos back after a long pause from doing readings on YouTube, and I know so many of you have asked me to come back, and here I am. So I'm beginning with October by putting the elements together, but I will be doing separate videos very soon. Okay, so hopefully November you'll have your own reading separately, but for now we're going to concentrate on the element of air and the individual star signs. Now do watch this if you have your sun sign, your moon sign and your rising sign in one of the air signs, and have a look at the other videos that correspond with whatever you have in your chart. And so this is for Aquarius. So we have number one card, and these are from the Angel Tarot deck, because I know so many of you like to find out what cards I'm reading with, and these are particularly nice cards to read with. Okay, so what have we got coming up in the month of October for our beautiful Aquarian friends? Well, we have the release card, and the angel on this card is Archangel Azrael. So Azrael is the angel that helps us to release. So what is it that you need to release? There's a lot of letting go in the month of October. And you know, you're never asked to release anything that you're meant to have in your life. So whatever is departing, whatever you're letting go of, has had its place and it really doesn't serve you any longer. And Archangel Azrael is this very gentle angel. So he comes along and helps us to let go of whatever it is that we are being asked to release our grip from. And this creates change, but he eases us through the change and gently says, you know what, we're going to create a space, and the universe is going to fill it with something else that is just much more for your highest good. And there's this kind of transformation taking place. So what are you transforming? Well, think about those things that you've been leading up to this time, where you've been toing and froing and you've been thinking, you know what, I don't really want to do this anymore. I don't want to be in this situation. I don't want to be around that person anymore. What is it? You personally will be able to go inward and discover that, but you're being urged to make that break, let go of that and move on to something new. Now, you won't be sitting there for long. So this represents the beginning of October. So you won't be sitting there forevermore going, I've got this empty space in my life. What on earth do I do now? Because the universe loves to come and rush in and fill it with all of the good stuff that you should be doing. And so I very much feel like this represents the first 2 weeks of October. And it's also, if you have a little glance back to whatever was going on around the time of the big eclipses that we had in August, I feel like that this is one of the final the final outcomes that is connected with that. So there's very much connectivity, and you're going to see some new things coming in. You may be excited by that, because I know my Aquarian friends, they love change, they love darting about, they like to have new experiences. So as an air signer, I think that you'll really very much appreciate the change. So let's have a look and see what our second card shows us that is coming in for you. Where is the change in connection with? Okay, so we've got the number 3, the 3 of air, and this is all about forgiveness, letting go and allowing yourself to start anew, wipe the slate clean with somebody, some situation that caused you pain in the past. And this 3 of air card is all about that. It's about, you know, when at one time you were maybe close to somebody and you just no longer are, and you need to let them go from your life. You need to make sure that they aren't part of your life going forward. But you've got to erase any bad feeling with them. You've got to forgive, you've got to heal, let go and let God. And so that can feel painful to do that, because sometimes we feel like, I'm right, I was in the right to do that. And yes, you probably were, but if you're still carrying around that resentment, then it's like drinking your own poison. And so what this card is telling you to do is to look at the situation, to almost mourn it and say, you know what, I'm releasing this person, or I'm releasing this situation. And I'm going to look back and see where, at the time that it did fit into my life, what are the good times, what were the good things that were associated with that. The other thing that this combination of cards can mean is having some kind of operation, and I feel as though it's going to be a blessing. So you're almost looking forward to having this surgery or something removed, cut out of you, and it's a really good thing. So for example, my mom, she's moon in Gemini, and she had very recently she had an operation of cataracts, and it was causing her so much concern, her eyesight and everything. And so she had this surgery, she had these cataracts removed and then replaced with a little plastic disc that they put in, and it was just so much better for the quality of her eyesight. So she's kind of getting she had that happen. And then there's the pain associated with the recovery, isn't there? So you want to have this, you want to cut those things out, but then there's a little bit of pain associated with removing yourself from whatever it is that's ailing you. So I guess the message here is it's not going to be the easiest process in the world, but there's people around you. So because the 3 is all about community, and so I feel what this is going to do for you is it's going to highlight, it's going to make you see the people that are there for you, the people and the places that are for your highest good, and to really embrace those and hold those even closer, because we don't need a massive circle of friends. They say you can count good friends on one hand that you have throughout your whole lifetime, and I know that that's true. And the better quality of friends, and when you weed out situations, people, experiences that don't serve you, and you embrace and hold close to you the things that do, that is what makes life all the sweeter, and it makes it a richer experience. Okay, so October's going to be a fabulous month for letting go, and particularly around towards the middle of the month, we have a full moon happening. I think it's on the 19th of October. Oh no, sorry, new moon. I beg your pardon. It's a new moon, and with that new moon comes new stuff, new options opening up for you. So look forward to that, and don't hang on too much and dwell too much on the things that you're not going to have in your life anymore. So I'm just shuffling for you another deck of cards, which is the Soul's Journey Lesson cards. And this is a really powerful one for you. This is the Guilt card. You just hold that up. So the Guilt card. So let go of guilt, basically. Release any beliefs that no longer assist in your soul's growth. So guilt is very much felt in the sacral chakra, which is the second energy center in the body. It's the one up from the one at the base of our spine, so it's just below the navel, around where the reproductive organs are, and that's where we experience joy. Now sometimes we can go out and really enjoy our life, and then we get this pang of guilt, like, oh, I'm enjoying myself. So if you've got kids and you go on a date night, you're worrying all the time, aren't you? Oh, my kid's okay. I feel really bad leaving them at home and then didn't take them with me. It's even worse if you go away on a little weekend away with your beloved, because then you just spend the whole time buying them presents. That's what I used to do. And so it's like on the one hand, there's this energy to go out, and you can see the bright orange here on this side, and then the red here about wanting security, and then the blues about authenticity, wanting to really be yourself. And then you get this kind of feeling of guilt about, oh, I've done these things, I'm doing these things for me, and then I feel guilty about it. And so guilt is a pretty pointless emotion, and I feel like air signs are the worst for getting guilt coming up, because the air signs tend to be very much living in their mind and turning things over constantly, and then it manifests itself in your energy center that blocks you from being joyful. that stops you from experiencing joy because you've replaced that with guilt. So whatever you're releasing from your life in October, do it with joy. You know, there's the joy, the three of air, and this is about the authentic you, and you can't be real and authentic if you're constantly trying to justify your actions and you're trying to do whatever other people want. So you're limiting your soul's growth, and so there's a big month for letting go for you, Aquarius. Okay, so good luck with that. I hope it's not too burdensome, and you don't. If you feel the guilt, that you will remember my words, and you won't let it take root. Okay. All right. So next we move on to Gemini. So the sign of Gemini, and I'm just going to shuffle the cards for you and pull 2 cards for Gemini. And this is actually my sun sign too. So always interested to know what's coming up for Gemmies. So there we go. So what is happening in October? So first of all, okay, so for the air signs, there's a big period of releasing. So far the trend has been release, end of phases. So we've got these, we have the 10, which is always about the end of a cycle, completion, beginning of a new one. Any difficulties you've been experiencing, anything that's held you back, Gemini, this is a time for you to really march forward. And it's saying this is a significant month because we have the 10 of air, you're an air sign. We're also in the 10th month of the year, and so we are coming to the end of a period of wherever there was tenseness, wherever there was obstacles in the way. Embrace change. So the air signs are certainly experiencing changes, and things will get better. Anything that you've been compulsively feeling like you had to be attached to, you can let go of that. And this really rings true for me, actually. And there is this sense of when you let go of that, there is a relief. It's like opening a window where there's stale air, it's a bit muggy and warm, you know, and you open the window and the breeze comes in. Oh, and it's just gorgeous. And you think, why didn't I open the window earlier? Well, that's because the time wasn't right, and you had to feel the discomfort in order to move away from the uncomfortable situation. So sometimes we can be just uncomfortable enough to withstand it, and then slowly we start to feel more and more uncomfortable, and then that is when the universe is going, come on, love, you need to shift, you need to do something. And so you are getting away. You were always free, but the timing, it's about this divine timing. And this is enabling you to step forward and step into your power, because when we add the digits of the 1 and the 0 together in 10 in numerology, we get number 1, which is about freeing yourself, standing alone, beginning again. It's about leadership and taking control of your destiny, and very straight up. You know, if you think about the 1, it almost looks like an arrow pointing upwards. So you very clearly know where it is that you need to go. And one of the reasons why we don't sometimes make changes in our lives is because we're a little bit confused about what is the best way forward. So we have to meditate on that and decide, what are we going to do that is going to be for our highest good? And that's where you are. You've made that decision and you're moving forward right from the start of the month of October. And where are you heading? You're heading towards a place where you feel more stable. So the number 4 of Earth, it's very much about stability. So the number 4, if you think about, we have 4 legs on a chair or a table, and those are the pieces of furniture that have the most structure and stability. If you think about a pyramid, is based on a square on 4 sides. And so this is about being rooted down, getting your roots and really planting them. So when you get to make changes, you're not making them spontaneously, willy-nilly, and then you're just kind of tearing off here in another direction. Then that's not going to work out. That's like another dead end. This is about moving away, making changes, embracing those changes, and really putting the solid roots down. So I see October is quite a serious month, but in a good way, because we can't have frivolity and inconsistency all the time. There's got to be the time that we set our stall out where we're clear. So there's a lot of clarity for you, and I think that you're going to be really calling upon that mental agility that you have to be strategic and go, okay, where is it that I can make my foundations much deeper? Where is it that I can save money? Where is it that I can make sure that I am more cautious than normal? And this is going to serve you very well. It's very positive changes. So I like that very much for you, Gemini. I hope you do too. And of course, you know, when you have solid foundations, that creates relief, doesn't it? It creates a feeling of being stable, which is not always wanted when you're a jolly little Gemini, but it's much needed at times, isn't it? And your soul's journey lesson, wow, this is fantastic because it fits so well. Just going to pop those there, so well with the two cards that you got in your main part of your reading. So your lesson this month is about standing within your power, which is exactly what I talked about with the 10 of air, the numerology, it adding down to number 1. So that there is the yellow on this card of the solar plexus, which is our power, our willpower, our determination to make things happen, to be confident in ourselves. We don't blame anybody else. So when the solar plexus is clear, open, balanced, free of any kind of obstacles or debris, then we don't blame others, we take responsibility for ourselves. And so we had the 4 of Earth there, and that's all about taking responsibility for being careful and cautious and thinking of the future and all of those kind of things that are a little bit boring at times. It's also about taking responsibility for ending difficult situations, of opening that window and making those changes. And this is your well-being. So you've got this beautiful star-like image in the center. You're radiating your energy outwards. You're taking the power from within. You always had it, but you know power ebbs and flows. Sometimes we don't always recognize that we have the power until we go inwards, and then we see it and we grab hold of it. And lovely colors on here. The red that we have going around the outside there, that's all about the root chakra. It's about getting stability, you know, finding our foundations, planting them very deeply down. And then the ring of blue that we have all the way around the outside, that's very much about the throat chakra. And the throat chakra is very much in connection with the air signs, with Gemini. It's about speaking, it's about honesty, being honest with yourself. What do I need to change? Where do I need to be more careful and cautious and not so spontaneous? And then I turn around and go, oh, I haven't got any money, or, you know, I didn't think ahead. So it's a great month for being powerful. And so I hope that sounds good. That sounds like how you would like to be, Geminis. Okay. And then finally, let's have a look at Libra. So Libra, this is Libra season at the time that I'm recording this video. So Libra's happy birthday to you. It's your birthday right now. And what is coming up in the month of October for you? So we have our first card and our second card. That second card almost leapt out, so it seemed to want to take part in your reading. And so Libra, you have really great news about money. So the 9 of Earth, you see this resplendent fairy sitting in this meadow. She's got abundance all around her, all these beautiful flowers, a lovely purple sky, the trees, and her wings, look at them, they're so opulent. And so that's reflected in the meaning of this card. It's very much like a follow through from whatever happened in September. You're going to start to see gains from that. And for you, it's all about how do I actually have you know, see the benefits of all of the hard work that I've done. So a lot of the time we can work on things and we can get paid and all the rest of it, but that money's often accounted for. It's often got a home to go to, a bill to be paid, you know, all the rest of it. But this card speaks of having a bit of money to splurge, that bit of mad money, where you find yourself looking in your bank account and going, oh, I've got a bit of surplus. I could get myself those new towels that I have been coveting. And you can tell what I've been thinking about. First thing I would do is go out and buy new towels. But that's me. So what is it that you have been thinking? Oh, I just really love to get myself X, you know. And so you've got a little bit of extra cash to play with, or just generally feeling as though you're in a really good place financially, as though even if you don't spend it, that you have a little bit of fat, a bit of excess, and as though, you know, like you're worth it. This card's very much attached to your value, because the earth cards, they always have these woodland creatures or the fairies on them. The sort of magic, it's being in touch with nature, it's being grounded, and but this nines are very much associated with bringing your dreams to life, and so it's lovely, and it is getting towards the end of a cycle. In numerology we have 9-year cycles, and so this is all of the hard work and the effort that you've put in, and you know, those rewards, that pat on the back. So don't be surprised if you have a job and you get some kind of bonus or some kind of extra dividend in some way, and what you do with that is up to you, but you will feel a little bit better off. And speaking of which, we had the 10 of air come up for Gemini, and here it is again. So you've got that at the opposite side of the month. So towards the end of the month, you're feeling as though you're reaching a culmination of effort, the end of difficulties, really enjoying the changes that are coming in, and recovering from anything that you felt was holding you back in any way. It's a beautiful pairing of cards, because both of them speak of ending of cycles, new beginnings, new ways of being, thinking, adapting to life. And it is literally like the breath of fresh air card, the 10 of air. So start as you mean to go on, you know, for the rest of the year. If money has been not always easy to get hold of, you're going to feel better off for sure. And just generally feeling like life's a little bit more magical than it was, and like the troubles and the tribulations are not going to be stalking you much longer. You can enjoy the last 3 months of the year. Okay, so we're going to draw finally a Soul's Journey lesson card for you, and that is imagination. So let me just push that up so you can see the words on the card, on your card. Imagination, this one is a bit like a kaleidoscope. I love that. And you know how kaleidoscopes can change according to how you twist and turn the different elements of them? Well, your lesson this month is that you can be as creative around all of the pursuits that you've got your heart set on. You can be, you can adapt to whatever is coming into your life and turn it to your advantage. And no two Librans will be the same. You've all got your own set of unique circumstances, and you can turn those to your advantage. So this is a really great time for manifesting. It's a great time for creativity. Your Soul's Journey lesson is not to limit yourself, to twist and turn the situation around and change your perspective until you can get to the truth. There's been a lot of emphasis on the truth and authenticity. So how can you adapt the way things are in order to get what you want, but not in a manipulative way? This is all about being true to you and doing it with love, because we've got the green of the heart chakra, and then being guided by your higher self with this pale lilac colour. And so your message, Libra, is I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind, and it's calling upon those upper chakras, the heart, the throat, the higher wisdom of the crown, and really being imaginative. The throat chakra, which is here in the center, it's all about your voice, your truth, hearing the truth, speaking the truth, and also about, you know, being guided as to how you express yourself out in the world. So that's going to be a very key feature of October 2017. So not only are you getting to clear the decks and to stand within your own power and be you, but you'll also get paid a bit more money in the process, which is always good to hear, isn't it? So it's balancing out the spiritual side with the earthly side, because we can never neglect either of those, but when we get them in balance, it's just a wonderful thing. So all of you air signs, I hope you've enjoyed your reading, and please do check out my Facebook page if you'd like to follow me, and if you're interested in angelic goodness on a daily basis, I post lots of lovely things in there. And if you'd like a private reading, there's a link below the video or up in the top right hand corner in the eye card. You can just click through on there and see all of the readings that I offer. I read all through the week, so see if there's one that takes your fancy and we can get that scheduled in for you. So take care, have a wonderful month of October, and I'll catch up with you very soon.